Okay, so we had questions about sort of defending leg locks and some basic principles about how to avoid them and what to do. We'll go over two early stage types of defenses or counters, however you want to look at them, and then we'll go over one that's, when you're kind of stuck in a position like a straight ankle lock. That's more typical for the IBJJF, and we'll go over a few points on how to deal with that. Again, not getting too much into a deep dive, but just sort of like some concepts and ideas that you guys can play with. So the first thing we're going to do is just look at, it's very basic, but a lot of people, especially when they're not, they're getting used to leg locks, they don't disguise their attacks particularly well, or they telegraph it. So a lot of times people will just do a big overhook on your ankle, okay? So if I just try to pull straight out here, my foot is like a barb. If my foot's pointed, my toes are up, it's preventing me from retracting my foot. So a basic escape is early, is we're gonna lift our hips up off the ground. I'm gonna turn my heel in, and I'm gonna retract my foot, so my knee to my chest, okay? So all I'm doing is turning my toe in, and I can point my toe as well, and it'll make it easier to slip out. So Eric's gonna grab in, I can point my toe, turn the heel in, and I'm going to retract and come back to a neutral position. So we'll go side to side. He grabs, hips up off the mat, point my toe, turn the heel in, and pull it out. Again, so here, point the toe, hips up, turn it in. Again, point. Another variation of this that we can do is to get their base or their posture broken a little better, is we're going to push his chest away. So at least we clear some space for him from re-attacking. Okay, so I'm here. 1, 2, and push him out. So I'm doing the same motion. I'm just going to use my free leg to push off his chest. And now we've at least cleared the distance. So at least, because if we just do the first one, and I just point here, and this, he can immediately start to pass and look to either attack my other leg or start to toriando or whatever. Okay, so last one on this one. So we're here, push with the foot, hips up and in. And now this might be our chance to re-engage and get back to a better position for us to attack, okay? So the next one is, let's say he gets a bite on my ankle and he goes, on this one, and he goes to sit down. As he steps in, watch, go back for a second. So in order to effectively ankle lock me, Eric's got to step in and close this distance, because he's got to capture my hip. If Eric just goes back and doesn't do that and sits back, he doesn't really have control of my hip, okay? So when I see him do this, when he steps in, I'm going to get a collar grip. I'm too late to do that early defense. So now as he goes to sit back, I'm going to pull and come right up onto my foot. And we can start to stand from here, okay? Keep in mind too that if your opponent in a tournament does this and you come up to a combat base, you've scored 2 points, okay? So you could use that as a potential strategy if you see someone trying to attack. So we'll do that again. So I'm here. The key to this is I don't want to stay square. Okay, so Eric falls back. This is going to be really hard for me to sit up. Okay, so what I have to do is, as he's sitting back, I rotate to the side just a little bit. So now I can base out of my knee and come up. So weight on the knee. Now I put my foot flat, and that's key too. I want my foot flat on the mat. If it's still like this, there's still a possibility that he could hyperextend my foot. But I want to get flat on the foot, and then I can start to walk and climb up, and we can look at the single leg X passes that we talked about earlier. Okay, so one more time. So he falls back, I grab, I rotate base on my hand, come up, and now we're here. Foot's flat, he can't attack it anymore. I've got my collar grip, I can start to pull his shoulders from the mat, clear that hook, and we can start to pass.